Hello everyone and welcome. We're here. We are live. It was actually touch and go there for just a little bit. My internet connection kind of gave out literally just came back just literally a few minutes ago. So hopefully everything will hold together for us and everything will be fine. So what the plan is for today is we're going to, as you probably saw from the thumbnail, the idea is to collect more science from the moon. I want to do a land and return there, and that means going there uncrewed with a materials bay and a mystery goo, and then bringing that back to Kerbal. Remember, with Kerbalism installed, you have to bring those things back in order to collect the science from them. I also have some rescue contracts that I still want to continue doing, and we'll be doing that using the same vehicle that we saw in the stream on Monday. I do have a couple of housekeeping items to get to first. Number one, I was noticing I was getting notifications from my two landers that are currently sitting on the moon's surface, Munar 4 and the Munar 4B. That's because they're running out of electricity as they go through the night. And I thought I had that all worked out, and then I realized, oh, wait a second, I don't think I ever figured out the electricity cost of the lights. I always sort of forget to add on the lights. The lights are pretty trivial, but the only thing they're running is a seismic scan, and the seismic scan is also pretty trivial, and I think probably the lights are making a reasonable contribution to it. So thankfully, I don't have to go out there to fix it. If I click, for instance, here on Munar 4, and if we go to automation, I can actually turn off all the lights from here. You can also set up some automated features so that it'll, whoops, put that back, so that it'll turn them on and off automatically, but it's really great not having to go to the actual vehicle itself. This again is Kerbalism that's adding in this little menu, and if I go back, yeah, Munar 4B, that's the other one, and then it only has two lights. We'll turn off those lights, and hopefully that will solve the problems with it running out of electricity. You can see the seismic scan is still going. It's still got more than 13 days to go, so it'll be a little while till we get all the science back from that. What else we got to do? Oh yeah, I said we have some rescues to do, so let's get into mission control. Take a look at that. So if we take a look at our active contracts, I got to rescue Warrior King from orbit and John N from orbit. I also have available, if I get into the recover and rescues, Mac the G has to be rescued from orbit. Again, these are all Patreon names that I'm adding in here. There was a second one, but it expired, unfortunately. But I am going to grab the rescue Mac the G. They're all in low orbit. It'll be easy to get them. I'm going to rescue two of these, probably starting right off. It shouldn't take too long. And then I want to get into the build for that sample and return type of mission. I also want to take a look at some other types of missions here. Under Career Evolution, I was spying these ahead of time, and underneath Crewed Milestones, I have a milestone to put 2 Kerbals in orbit, and considering I have right now an orbiter that can hold 2 Kerbals, geez, I have the vessel ready to do this, so I might as well do this right now. In fact, I'm kind of curious if rescuing 2 Kerbals at the same time will satisfy the conditions of this contract. If not, we'll launch it again at some point in the future and get the contract that way. Underneath collecting science, let's again close this one up, collecting science, I have get some science data from space around Kerbal. I actually have an idea for getting some more science from space around Kerbal. I haven't quite exhausted all of that. You have to be a little bit careful. There has to be science there for you to collect in order to do this contract. It's not like in stock where you can collect nothing and it satisfies it. But I do have something I can collect, so I have an idea for that one. I've also installed a new contract pack, Giving Aircraft Purpose. If people that have watched my previous series to this one, I had Giving Aircraft Purpose for quite some time. And then I got rid of it, and the reason I got rid of it was because of these KSC Coast Guard ones, which are fun at first. Once they're available, I'll show you them. They're fun at first for rescuing Kerbals from the surface of the from Kerbin's surface. And they're fun for a while, but they're only 2, and they just oscillate back and forth between them. And this one automatically cuts off the rescue from space contracts, which I so enjoy doing. So I got rid of giving aircraft purpose before I realized that, wait a minute, you can just adjust that in the settings. So now I have both. I'm happy with that. And this is a contract here, build and fly your first plane. I mean, I've already got a plane. All I got to do is fly it, and this will give me some excuses to do more things with Kerbals, even if I don't have the rockets to do a lot of stuff in space with them just yet. And I think that's a worthwhile thing. And finally, this one I spotted was interesting, is to once again reposition Munar 1 to adjust its orbit to a new location. And I went and checked. I think I got the Delta V on Munar 1. If you've forgotten Munar 1, Munar 1 did my first flyby of the moon quite some time ago. And then we had another contract to readjust its orbit. I used the moon to do a lot of the legwork for that. This is another readjustment. And I'm going to show you the orbit because I think it's really interesting. We'll grab that one. But if we take a look, I might even start with this. If we take a look at Munar 1, there it is there. There's Munar 1 in this yellow orbit. Can we turn off these things? Yes, we can see this way. There's Munar 1 in its current orbit, this yellow orbit. It wants me to put this into the blue orbit. The apoapsis of the blue orbit and the yellow orbit and the periapsis are exactly the same. The plane is exactly the same. What you need to do is change the argument of the periapsis. Move the periapsis from here to here. And I thought that was a really interesting challenge to try and see to do that. To see how it's not changing the inclination, not changing the apoapsis and periapsis, simply trying to take this orbit and rotate it into the blue orbit. And in fact, I think I might go and jump and do that right now. We probably won't do the actual burn. The period of this orbit is pretty long, but we can at least set it up and stick it into alarm clock and come back to it later. So here is Munar 1. It's such an old probe. And here, let's get rid of the Oh, actually, I should probably look at the contracts. Let's see. This one here. We're going to add this new mission. This is Munar 1 once again. Munar 1's done a lot of contracts for me. And we'll go to here. Okay, so we need to reach these orbital parameters. So let's take a look at our orbit. There's us, and there's the blue orbit. And this, I don't know if I can do this in a single burn or not, but a lot of this is going to be radial to try and take this burn and twist it. And the logical places to attempt this is where the two orbits cross. Down here, closer to Kerbin, and then this one way out far away from Kerbin. And because most of this is going to be radial, I think the best place to do this burn is way out here, away from Kerbin. If you're doing burns that aren't prograde and retrograde, this is where you want to do it. As far away from Kerbin as you can. Now, I've never actually done something like this, so I think what I need to bring this part of this trajectory towards this blue one. So that looks to me like I got to burn radially in like this. See that? That's bringing it that way. That is messing up the periapsis, so I need to bring... No, maybe the other way. This might take a bit of playing. Maybe this wasn't such a great idea. Let's get rid of this. This is just in the way right now. Bring that way and then bring us down. Oh. I want that periapsis right there. What I might just do is just get the periapsis in the right spot. A little more this way. A little more down. A little more this way. Oh, I don't know. I think I'm getting to it. A little more down. Now, I can see here I do have an argument of periapsis of 351.5 degrees. That's the target. And if I click over here, it's giving me my projected argument of periapsis. I'm closing in on it. A little bit more. What is it? 351.5 I need this to be. Oh, I think we can get this to work. Oh, look at that. I think I was worried this was going to take multiple burns to do, but I think we're really close right now. So 351.5. What's our burn at? 264. Oh no, it's a little bit too much. It is a little bit too much. I thought I could get away with this. You can see it's a little bit in the red. What do I got 206. Okay, I can do this. I can do that. I think I can get this close enough. Let's get into click on the maneuver. We got to bring this down. So let's bring down some of this radialness. I got to bring this below 260 meters per second for us to be able to do this. 200. Okay, this is going to be the last maneuver this thing's ever going to do. The argument of periapsis is 351.4. The target is 351.5. I really do think... There, 301. The target apoapsis is 20.719. And the target periapsis is 4.78. Maybe a little less here. And then a little more this way. Oh, now I'm into the red again. I gotta realize, you know what? I think this is gonna be close enough. I'm sure this will be close enough. 227, 2... No, I was better before. Bring this down. I think I was better before, and then... Oops. This way? Yeah. Okay, I'm a little over. I had it, and then I started goofing about. I'm going to go with this. The argument of periapsis is bang on. I think the apoapsis and periapsis are close enough. I think it's close enough. I'm gonna go with this. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But we're gonna call it now. This burn's not. Oh, it's coming up in 3 days. That's closer than I thought it would be. But what we're gonna do is open up alarm clock. Whoops. Add this in. Give myself like 5 minutes warning. It's only coming up in 3 days. Might get to this today. Might not. We'll see what happens. But I thought that was. I love these contracts that are for free, but this will definitely be the last orbital adjustment for Munar 1. But it should be very happy with itself, to be quite honest. No, I don't have Kerbal. I've been really not putting on the Kerbal Engineer chips on my rockets. I've gotten very used to just using the stock tools. They seem to work pretty good. Okay, into the VAB we go. We got some Kerbals to rescue. That's what we has to do. It says, Mike, have you seen Starship SN10? I definitely watched Starship SN10 yesterday on its Leaning Tower of Pisa landing. Actually, it was spectacular and it was brilliant. I shouldn't ever get down on something like that. It was an amazing achievement, and then it was literally. I finally turned off the stream. It looked like, oh, fire's out. Looks like everything's calmed down. Turned off the stream and then found out it was 2 minutes after that the thing blew up. Okay, let's bring up our new orbiter here. Our new orbiter is the Pug-1-A3. This is the one that was doing the rescues. We've made some improvements to it. The Pug engine has been upgraded. It's now of high quality and has more ignitions on it. I've also cleaned it up, made it look, I think, a little bit better. I added in a couple of struts here as well, and also because as it was coming through the atmosphere, it was tumbling a little bit on its re-entry. I put these tail fins on, didn't test them. We'll see how they go, but technically this thing is on a new booster, so I want to save this booster. So what I'm going to do to save this booster so I can use it in the future, I know it looks a lot like my old booster, but I switched out the engine on the bottom, so it is actually technically a new booster. So I'm going to use the reroute tool. We're going to make the decoupler the root part, and then we're going to take our payload and we're going to chuck it away. And then I got a new mod which adds in one part that I think is a pretty neat part for this. What I've been doing in the past to figure out what kind of payload this thing could lift is I would simply take like my largest fuel cans and start stacking them on here for a dummy payload until I got the delta V where I want. But I want to show you this part. This is a utility weight, and all it is just, I think it should look like a block of concrete, but it's what it is. It's just a weight. It doesn't do anything. It does have command control and wheel authority, but otherwise, I guess if you wanted to test launch your thing, but it really doesn't do anything. But what you can do is adjust its size. It has different sizes you can put on it, see? And you can also adjust its mass. So what I want to do is take a look at my delta V. Hopefully these two are agreeing. 4,355, yep. And I want to increase the mass until, how heavy can I make this? Oh, I can make it pretty heavy. Until the delta V is around 3,000, just over 3,600 meters per second. So I think that is pretty darn close to what the payload limit is for this particular booster. Probably a little bit on the light side. But now what I can do is I can make this the root part. I can take this away, and I can look at what's the mass that I got here. There's no way it's only 20 kilograms. There's no way I added only 20 kilograms. No, it's, yeah. Okay, let's do this again. I'm watching the delta V total. I think I was looking at the wrong, oh, now I'm over. Okay, that does too much. So I'm going to make a second one of these. Oh, there. This needs to be the, no, I had it right. This is the root part. I'm going to make a second one of these, and then I'm going to decrease the mass on this one. I think it's easier than fiddling with fuel cans. There we go. So now I got 3,683 meters per second. So this thing should be able to get into orbit. Now if I make this the root part, take that away, look at the mass, 2.5 tons. So this thing should be able to lift 2.5 tons into orbit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this in a subassembly. There we go. This is the Reliant 1-R Radial Thumper 2. And payload to LKO. Oh my gosh. Payload to LKO of 2.5 tons. Perfect. All right. Now we can get rid of all that. We can bring back our pug again, unmodified. And so now that gives me another booster to play with. Okay, so let's get to here. We want no Kerbals in this thing because we're on our way to rescue them. I think that's all I got to do. So let's save this and launch. Yeah, Charlie's saying remove the escape tower. There's no Kerbals in it, so why on earth do I have an escape tower? And I don't have a good answer to that question. I put on the escape tower out of habit, and didn't realize until after the stream was over this, like, why do I have an escape tower on this? And I could take it off right now, but to be honest, I do have some plans to use this as an orbiter and actually launch Kerbals, so I think I might just keep it the way it is for now. So we're going to get to rescues. Oh, I think I added another rescue, didn't I? Mac the G, add him to the list. So there are 3 rescues. Oh, the sun is setting. That's not the best of plans, but oh well, it is what it is. Let's get up. So I'm going to keep the escape tower on there. And I apologize for people that think that's silly. Let's see. There's Mac the G. He's first. John P is second. And oh, shoot. I got old ones here. Okay. Where is everybody? Sorry, I never deleted the old capsules. So Dan P has been rescued. That one's empty. Rob has been rescued. John N and Warrior King, they're relatively close together, so I think it'll be easier to rescue these 2 as a pair. So I'm going to leave Mac the G alone for now, and we're going to go for John N as our first target here. Want to go for the person that's at the front. Boy, this is kind of hard with all. Which one's John N? There's John N. Where is the Kerbal Space Center? There. So I want to launch ahead of John N. He's actually coming up here. We're going to go into a higher orbit because he's in a pretty low orbit. And I think I'm just going to launch right now. And then we'll come down and he'll catch up to us and we'll come down and get him. Okay, so SAS on, throttle up. Let's put this on here. Let's put this on here for some info, and let's do this. And we are off. Yeah, I'm hoping this will be a useful craft for me for a while, till I unlock the better pods. Okay, and lock that onto prograde. And I do want to unlock the better pods before we start getting into things like space stations and sending Kerbals to the moon, because these pods here are not pressurized. And the thought of putting Kerbals for long duration space missions in non-pressurized capsules, which means that they have to sit there, they have to be in their suits the whole time, just seems unnecessarily cruel. Okay, on to the next one. Just trying to get this right on equatorial because all of those folks are in an equatorial orbit. We're heading in 90 degrees. Oh, let's cut the throttle a bit. Again, push this down. See what that's like. Sense a little on the steep side again, but I got lots of delta V in this craft, so it's okay. Less on the throttle. Come on. We're almost a minute from apoapsis. All right. Yeah, I was getting comments on my useless escape tower. It does look good, though. Actually, if there's anything I don't really like about this, is the sort of stumpy fairing at the front here, but it had to come in like that to be able to connect with the escape tower. A little bit more thrust. I gotta be careful. Oh, the escape tower's on 5. Yes, right, it's an action group. It's not in the staging. And the fairing, too. So, right around now, we'll do this. Boom. There goes all of that. That is still rather violent, but I think it's actually the decoupler that is attached to this that actually comes off in such a violent way. Light this fella up. And almost done on this booster, and then the rest of the insertion is going to be done by the orbiter itself. For whatever reason, it takes a double tap to do that one. We're going to 120 kilometers for our apoapsis. And this thing's still not blinking. Oh, I just realized, okay, I gotta fix that. See how that. Oh boy. The light is inside the, I gotta fix that. The light is inside the oxygen tank. That's not good. And let's see, 90 kilometers. Are people having trouble with the frame rate on their end? I'm just noticing a comment regarding the frame rate. It may have something to do with the internet connection on my end, I can't say. And if it is, that's something I don't have much control over. I apologize for that. Okay, 110 on the apoapsis. 120. There we go. We are in space. Let's go circularize. I'm seeing an all good here. Oh. Got a little close. 20 seconds from apoapsis. Okay. I'm getting an all good on the frame rate. The internet is a perfinicky thing. Okay, just finish off this. Get us in our orbit. Left it maybe a little late. That's good. Alright, so, again, I do have to be a little careful with electricity. I did run out a little bit on electricity before, so I'll have to make sure about these solar panels having decent exposure. Let me take one look at, there is, oh, it's on, but it's supposed to be blinking. I think I remember that last, there it goes. Hey, you can sort of see it. Okay, jeez, let's turn off all of our capsules here. There we go. So here's us, here's John. Let's make a maneuver here. Bring that down. See, it needs to be around. We gotta hop ahead in orbit. Oh, that was too far. Go back. Back. There we go. That's pretty close. Let's just tweak this in. So I need a little less on the retrograde department. Oh no, more in the prograde department, sorry. This is a retrograde burn. And then tweaking the time. Ooh, that's looking pretty good. Get down to just a single second jump back. All right, 0.6 kilometers separation there with that burn. Okay, let's time warp to sunrise, and I just want to make sure our solar panels are decent. I think they're okay. You have to be a little conscious of that. That should be good. All right, let's time warp to, because last time we ended up running out of electricity. I didn't like that. Did I hit the, yeah, warping to, just watching the electricity here. So we go into the night side, see how quickly it drops back down. Again, I always forget to factor in the electric thing from the lights. It seems okay from lights because I always end up putting the lights on last. All right, let's do this. Oh wait, this is going to be a retrograde burn. Turn the thrust limiter down. And we won't go to map view, we'll watch it from here. We're going to look at our rendezvous data. Right now there's nothing because our orbits aren't intersecting, but that should be rectified very shortly. Okay, and here we go, 5, and let's put this on here. Let's go to about half throttle because it's not much of a burn, and then I'm going to look for my intersect data coming up. There it is. Let's reduce throttle. There we go. About 659 meter separation. Happy with that. Again, let's get some nice exposure on the solar panels. And we are almost 18 minutes away from John, so... Oh, I'm still silly. You forgot about the mono and oxygen fuel cell. Yeah, I do have the fuel cell, but I'd like to... I do have a monopropellant fuel... an oxygen fuel cell. I have monopropellant on board to run that, and I do have oxygen. That's what these green tanks are. That's for the fuel cell, but I want to keep that for emergency purposes. It probably can't. It definitely can't run for the whole duration of this mission. So that's more if I somehow mess up with the solar panels, and the scrubbers are starting to shut down. That I can. Oh, you just went blowing by. That I can. Keep the life support going before we get these folks back down. Okay. And I'd love to get into building stations. That's one of the things that's always on my to-do list. I love building space stations. And I honestly was thinking to build sort of a Salyut-style Soviet early space station just out of these things. I think you could build a decent-looking station with some space on it. And then I remembered that these capsules aren't pressurized. So if you build such a station, Kerbals have to spend their whole time on that station in their spacesuits. Like, to me, that's intolerable as far as I'm concerned. Why are my intersect distances so far apart? I actually made them worse there. Can't be this way. This way make it better? I'm looking at the second number now. The first one's, I'm passing that in 9 seconds, but... Yeah, oh no, that's making it worse. Okay, this way. Just push the retrograde onto the target. That's all it is. There we go. I'm watching this distance here. I was talking and not really watching my numbers. Okay, 400 meter separation, 200 meter separation. Wow, about 40 meter separation. Let's get in there close. And we found John N. Kerman. He is still alive. I have no idea. Up until it said he there, I didn't even know if John N. Kerman was male or female. And then you get all these danger warnings from Kerbalism, and then they all go to the green again. So that's not a panic. First time, that really kind of shocked me, and I was like in a bit of a panic. But I now realize that that isn't a big deal. There, now they're going green again. And that is various life support warnings. Kerbalism knows to give them life support. Okay, let's put that there. And let's start slowing down here. We're only 20 seconds away. Slowing down. As long as you can push this time to intersect up, you're not coming in too fast. Do want to be a little conscious. Well, nah. I have an upgraded engine. I have backup engines. We should be good. Oh, wow. It's measuring it in millimeters now, my closest approach. Let's keep that just locked on target. Locked on the retrograde. We'll just come in here. Okay, start slowing down. Let's zero out this velocity. Yeah, don't ignite the engine too often. Yeah, I know. But I do have backup engines. It's a bad habit from playing stock. Okay, let's just zero out and do this. Okay, zero relative velocity. Still have 25 ignitions on the main engine and on these little backup ant engines. They're not backups. I'm actually using them. There's 66 ignitions. That's the joy of the upgraded engine. Should be okay. Where's our capsule? There's our capsule. Just orienting this so that the hatches pointing their way. That would be the polite thing, I think, to do for John. And there we go. Right there. Okay, let's go meet John. John is a scientist. Excellent. Oh, and that is the texture I prefer to use for Bob. No particular reason. I've just always had that as my Bob texture. So I'm sorry, John, you're going to have to get a makeover at some point. Where's my ship? There. We'll do a makeover on John at some point. Can't have twinsy Bobs. So you've yet to see Bob in this series. Okay, so John is going to grab the lower capsule, which is right side up. So his journey back down to the surface will be far more comfortable than whomever we're picking up next. All right, that's one Kerbal. One Kerbal down. I got to delete these extra pods. I just forgot to do it. So that's Rob. That's us. And this is, I think, our next target here. This is, oh, there's so much. That's Warrior King, yes. So we're going to set Warrior King here as a target. Warrior King's Hulk. Okay, and then we'll turn these back off again. Okay, and again, the best way, you don't want to burn in this direction. That would be a bad idea. What you want to do is slow yourself down by increasing your orbit. Right, so if you increase the altitude of your orbit, what you end up doing is slowing yourself down. So after you do one more rendezvous, see right here, I'm coming in close together right there. I do like to do this with a maneuver just to make sure I have the delta V. This is going to cost 96 meters per second to do this burn, and it'll be about the same to do the braking burn. So I got plenty of delta V. Now I don't need the maneuver. I'm just going to put this on the prograde vector. Oh, not on the target prograde vector, the orbital prograde vector. And then all you got to do is burn prograde. There's no timing to this or anything. And I think it was the purple ones that came in nice and close, if I recall. So click on that. There we go. And you're just burning, watching. Come on. Bringing those in closer. Let's reduce throttle. Getting them as close as I can. .1 kilometers. Oh wow, that was like roulette there. I think I just got really lucky. Okay, and now we just got to ride around and meet up with Warrior King. Again, thinking about solar panels. Let's warp the sun. I think that's just what happened last time, is I just forgot about orienting the solar panels. So I just want to make sure, maximize my solar generation here. As long as I point those straight at the sun, that's fine. Okay, we are 14 minutes and 25 seconds. Let's get. Oh, whoa, we're tumbling. tumbling. That's because it wasn't quite stopped. That was persistent rotation there. If there's some rotation, and then you start time warping, persistent rotation maintains that rotation. There we go. And 2 and 1. Okay. Oh, wait. Yeah, let's get a couple minutes away. There we go. Put that back on target. I know, monoprop fuel cell. I know, but it's only of limited duration, so I don't want to use the monoprop fuel cell unless I have to use the monoprop fuel cell. Okay, I saw... Oh no, this is... There we go. We are a 60... Oh, I was looking at the wrong thing. It switches back and forth. I was looking at my Apple-Wapsis number. Oh my gosh. What the... Bah. About to say, like, why is it pointed way like this? Oh, where's the sun? Oh, shoot. Okay, this is what I mean by... Sorry, I was looking at my Apple-Wapsis number instead of looking at my... Now I gotta reorient this. Re-rotate this. Could have been worse. I could have gone around... Okay, let's try this again. I hate the way this goes. When you leave the capsule, this goes back to orbital info. And then I always forget that it did that. And then I... Okay. There, that looks better. Here comes Warrior King's Hulkum below us. Getting close. Still have 120 meters per second of relative velocity, so I'd best best start cutting that out. This way. I do this while keeping my distance from getting too out of hand. Velocity's coming down. I have to come a little this way now. Yeah. Okay, let's time warp closer. Just had a major relative velocity there. I wanted to... Oh, Warrior King is alive, and then we're going to get our warnings, and then everything's going to be fine. Push that back onto the target. Ignoring my numbers, I'm just going to push this onto the target. There we go. Now that's making sense. My numbers were a little messed up there. I don't like it when my numbers are messed up. Trying not to turn that engine on and off too much. There we go. Oh, a capsule is in sight. Just about ready. Let's just get in close here. Okay. Let's finish this off. Now I gotta remember to delete those capsules. That's good enough. Alright, again, let's turn this way and present the hatch to our newest recruit. Find out what kind of Kerbal we got. Then we'll get these folks back down. Okay. Went over. Warrior King is a pilot. Excellent, excellent. Very dashing pilot at that. Okay. Get him over there. And has to take the upside down upper capsule because you were late to the party. And that means you get second choice. Boom. In you go. Alright, so next step in all of this is getting down to the surface. You lose. I'm trying to just take that target off, but I don't think it's going to let me. So let's see, where are we here? There is the KSC, so we'll time warp to the Woomerang site. Again, pay some attention to solar panels here. I think that's what got me into trouble last time. Oh, I'm still time warping. Yeah, you can use the mini grabber to clear up that debris. I am simply going to delete said debris. And I can tell we're going to be coming down in the nighttime, and I don't want to time warp any more forward to make it into the morning, so that's just what it is. I want to get this mission done. Okay, take that off a target, put that onto orbit, put that onto the retrograde vector. Probably put the thrust back up on this. Make sure I'm not going to drive into the debris that's there. Okay, let's see. Yeah. And we'll go until we get the cross in this zone over here from Trajectories. Don't want to repeat going into the mountains. That was bad. That looks good. Because you always are going to be a little short of that because once you shed some mass, again, solar panels. Whoa, oh, I'm still locked on retrograde. I do that all the time, don't I? Can get the last rays of those the sun on there. That's good. All right, let's do this. Alright, just about in the atmosphere. Lose the service module. Reorient this onto the retrograde vector. Hopefully we got lots and lots of electricity. Not bad. I think it should be okay. And let's do this. Now I'm kind of curious. I had a contract. Let's put this back on all contracts to put 2 Kerbals into space at the same time. Technically I do have... Yes! I think this contract here, let's add this to our list of rests here. If I go back to here now, we're actually going to do this. This is maybe a bit cheap, but I don't care if it's cheap. I had this contract, put 2 Kerbals in orbit, and I'm noticing the 2 Kerbals in orbit is green, and now return them safely. That should satisfy that contract. Our parachutes are armed, right? Yes, they are. And I'm hoping, here, let's actually, no, let's keep the SAS on. This thing started to tumble last time, so I'm hoping that these little fins here will keep it oriented the way we want. Oh, let's lock, silly boy, lock that onto retrograde. That'll be better. Because what would be really, really bad is if this probe body, which is the only thing holding these two modules together, blew up, and these two separated, because although they both have lots of ablator on them, only this one has parachutes on it, so I'd have to bail the Kerbal. The Kerbal should have parachutes. He does. Okay, we're coming over the KSC now, so we're going to be into the water. That's all I want. So far, this is tracking really, really nicely. I risk taking the SAS off and seeing if it just does it naturally. That's looking pretty good. I just turned the SAS off, staying right on that retrograde vector. All right, now those fins are doing their job. Excellent. Oh, and the sun's come up. The sun has come up. Yeah, I know. The two Kerbals in orbit. I'm not cheating. Well, I mean, it's going green whether you say, Charlie says, it's not like you're cheating. It just says put two Kerbals in orbit, and you have two Kerbals in orbit. And yeah. But whether I'm cheating or not, oh, the sun just went down because we lost altitude. Whether I'm cheating or not doesn't matter. It's going to go green. One way or the other. So if anybody's cheating, it's the game that's cheating, not me. And I'm sticking to that story. Now, one thing, I don't think I have a crew report or an EVA report from the water. So I'm just turning on the crew report. I think I just keep forgetting to do it. So let's see what happens if I land here. I think I'm going to end up doing a crew report. I should stick it out. Boom. Okay, and boom. And yep, there goes my crew report. See that? And let's put this on. Let's EVA John here. Let go for a moment, John. You can take your helmet off now. And do an EVA report. And can you do a surface sample? Did I? Nope, can't do a surface sample yet. Okay, so might as well get that little bit of science. Okay, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now you can get back aboard. There we go, and the crew report is still happening. It's got 3 minutes to go. Oh my gosh, let's time warp all that away. Oh, now the batteries are getting down low. Shoot. Let's turn on that fuel cell then. Where is the monoprop fuel cell? There we go. Turn on the fuel cell. Hopefully that. Yeah. Sun's down. Now that, yeah. We finished it off. Good, good, good. Okay, recover. It's a game that cheated Val out of a hospital bill. Yeah, you can call me cheating on the Val incident. I'm fine with that. I'm comfortable with that. I put that to a poll. It was all of you that chose Val to come back. Okay, so that was a little bit of science. And got all kinds of notifications here for rescuing John, rescuing Warrior King, putting two Kerbals in orbit. Congratulations, now that we have proven you can launch multiple Kerbals at the same craft, well, sort of. We need to explore the other things that will extend the reach among the stars. And Warrior King is now part of our crew, and so is John, and there. Okay, let's actually, before we leave all this, let's get into the astronaut complex. Look at all the Kerbals! And let's actually start adjusting these. So Warrior King here is a pilot, and I like the pilots to be this gold color. So that's good. And Dan is a scientist, and scientist be blue. And John is a scientist. Blue for you too. And Rob is a pilot. So what do I need? I need engineers. That's what I need, are engineers. Another pilot. Gold. Okay, there we go. And the other thing I want to do is get into texture replacer here. Take a look. See, Bob, that's my Bob texture, and John's got the exact same texture. So we're just going to go to the next texture. I don't think that one's taken. There's Rob. There's John. Dan's a girl. Warrior King there. Yep, they're all different now. That's Bill. That's Bob. Excellent. Okay. What we need to do, we need to build something. That is what we need to do. Let's warp to sunrise so that at least we can see our testing done. And then we're going to take a look at doing this land and return mission. So no contract associated with this. This is purely I want to get the goo down to the surface of the moon, and then I want to get it back to Kerbin again. So we're going to use this, what is this thing called again? Experiment return unit, which can take experimental data and bring it back. The materials bay is 4 slots, while the goo is 1 slot. So I need 5 slots, but the next one up is 8 slot. Actually, can I get away with... No, you won't do that. So we're going to have to use 8 slots. I don't think... No, there won't be any data in this thing. It does need a parachute. For show. Parachute. And it also going to need a heat shield coming back. Thermal. 1.25 meter heat shield. So there we go. That is what I want to bring back to Kerbin's surface. Just that, with all its precious scientific data on there. So I need to put on a decoupler. There we go. Put that underneath there. Now, this thing does have command control, but it has absolutely no... It doesn't have any SAS, and I know trying to fly without SAS will drive me batty. So I am going to put a hex probe underneath that. And let's see. I think I worked out what this thing needs as far as... Doesn't need a lot of solar. No. Should be good. So what I'm going to just do is stick on... Where are my solar cells? This thing's just what's going to come back. And then we're going to leave the goo and everything else behind. That's the idea. There. Let's change that. It's going to have no... Let's configure this probe. Configure unmanned. This isn't going to do any other experiments. Boop. And we'll also change gold texture this time. Okay. We also going to need a communitron for communications. That should be good. Okay, so this is the thing that's going to fly back to Kerbin with its supply of goo and materials bay science. And in order to take off from the moon and fly back to Kerbin, I'm budgeting 860 meters per second. So let's stick on, I don't know, maybe this guy. Because I want to keep it, that's my smallest 1.25 meter tank. I could play around with like using these kind of things, but then I'm worried about getting it. I don't want this thing to get too tall considering it's going to land. So that is that. Now let's pick an engine for it. And I'm going to be completely honest. What I did before is I put on a spark engine. And that gave me tons of delta V. It gave me a perfect thrust to weight ratio. And then when I kind of slapped something like this together for the thumbnail that hopefully everybody noticed for this stream, and I practiced, and I didn't practice, I just wanted that shot of it taking off the moon's surface. The exhaust from this blew up the lander that's going to have to be below it. So what I'm going to do instead, I wish I had those little spider engines, but I don't. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to put on a bunch of these ant engines. Let's see, maybe 4. That should be okay. 5.6 thrust to weight ratio. Like if we change this, remember this is gonna just take off from the moon. If I change the body to the moon, thrust away with the moon is 3.35, so I don't think that'll have any trouble taking off from the moon. Put that back on Kerbal. But then the exhaust is to the side, and hopefully this won't blow anything up. Now, what did I say I wanted? I wanted 860 meters per second at delta V, so this has too much, so we're going to start just knocking it back. There's 956, and oh, I also... The samples from the material bay and the goo do carry mass. And so you got to sort of factor that into it. This thing's going to come back with extra mass, and in fact, it's 39.3 kilograms of mass. And it tells you that if we look at, say, here's the materials bay. It tells you in here, see, this is going to be 32 extra kilograms of mass once you've collected a sample. So I can use, again, my little utility weight. Let's take this off. Let's bring this size of this down. And this needs to have a mass of about, I'll call it 40 kilograms. So if we look here, that's 0.2, that's 0.05, so 0.2, and then put 2 of them. There, and that's 40 extra kilograms of mass. Does this thing still have the delta V it needs? 923, I'm budgeting 860. Let's give it a smidge more. Yeah, let's go to here. 1,035, I'm happy with that. Okay, now we can take these dummy masses off. I don't need them anymore. So now I'm confident this thing can get back to Kerbal. Now what I need to do is build what's going to go below it. So below it, I need another decoupler. Let's use this one. So I can sneak under there. And we will see if I can make this look a little bit better. Tuck these engines in a little bit. Maybe up. That looks all right. Out a bit. There. All right. So we need a probe to go under this. So let's get, and I'm gonna need another probe body. Actually, just an octo will be fine. Might as well go cheap. And the reason why I need another probe body is because this is going to stay behind and do all kinds of science. I'm going to land in a different biome that I've not landed in before. And I got all kinds of science I could be collecting in that biome. And then this thing can, while this guy's flying back, this thing can be busy collecting that science. So let's configure this. This is going to be a telemetry report and a thermometer. That works for me. Let's start both of those up. We also have the seismic accelerometer. That's going to stay behind. And we also have a barometer's no good and a vacuum. That's what I'm looking for, the radiation detector. That can be going on there as well. This thing is also going to require communication. A single communitron will do. Let's put it exactly opposite the other communitron. So right around here. Where's the other one? Sure. Actually, let's just put it here. Okay, and electricity. This thing is going to have to stick behind on the surface and generate power. One of the things it's going to need, because the materials bay is a crap ton of electricity, that is an official unit, is we are going to use a fuel cell. Stick that there to run the materials bay. And this fuel cell, let's stick a materials bay under there while I'm at it with all this stuff. Materials bay, there we go. And this fuel cell requires hydrogen and oxygen, and I already worked out how much of each I need. So let's get one of these little small tanks. I'm just gonna stick it to the side here for now. I need, this one's gonna be oxygen. It requires 640 units of oxygen. So I'm just going to go like this, and I'm just going to put in, I don't know, 650. That should be fine. And then I need another one. And this one's for hydrogen. Hydrogen. And I worked out I need 1,250 units of hydrogen. Let's put in an extra 100, 1,350 units of hydrogen. Okay. And we'll turn that to be orange and this one to green, just to make them different. And I'll figure out where I'm going to stick those in just a little sec. But that's to run the fuel cell. I'll need that. Oh, we need a goo. Goodness sakes. I'm running out of spaces to stick everything. Okay, let's just stick that here for now, just so I don't forget it. I need in this 500 units of electric charge to make it through the night. Let's just temporarily make that the root part and take this off. How much electric charge do I have? Oh, I only have 50, so I gotta stick on some batteries. Those are... Boy, I'm gonna need maybe... These are just 100. These are 4. You know what? Let's get a couple of these in here. It's probably a good idea anyway. That's that. That is that. Give this a little bit of clearance between the two vessels. I think I need the room anyway. And that's 400, and then a couple of these batteries. Actually, let's do it that way. There. There. Let's make this again the root part. Alright, so that should deal with electricity. That should deal with lots of things. I think I now have a place I can stick this goo. I can probably just slide it opposite to there. Yeah. Come on, get in there. Single symmetry, I just need the one. We can put in these guys. One here, and one above it here. All right, and just check the staging just really quickly. Some of this doesn't make sense. No, those two have to go together. That makes more sense. All right, I'm just running down my checklist to make sure that I think I'm doing okay. So I can run. I got 500 units of electric storage. I got communication. I got a place to store my samples. Solar. This is going to need some solar generation. That is right. Okay. Because once it's all done collecting materials bay and goo, it's still going to sit behind and collect other science, and in particular, this seismic accelerometer takes, here, let's start that. The seismic accelerometer takes days and days to do, so I do need electricity generation just from solar. The fuel cell will have run out by that point. There we go. So let's see if I can see if I can make this look okay. If I can put on 4-way symmetry, click one of those, rotate them to about 45 degrees, because it will be sitting on the surface. And let's see if we can pull this out like that. I don't want it to get too clippy. I can find a better spot for it. That looks okay if I can just find a better spot. Do some flipping around here. Let's take this off. Move that to there. So it's above it. That. Ooh, here, this might work. That there is lower. I think that's okay, without having too much clipping going on there. All right. Now, the budget, this thing now needs to be able to fly to the moon and land on the moon, and for that piece of it, I have budgeted 1,890 meters per second, a lot more. And what I'm looking at is this tank here, this tank here. Now let's stick an engine on the bottom of this. I want to get it a little wider because this thing's getting pretty tall. And this should help with the landing. Let's put a Terrier on the bottom, see what that gets us. So that is 1,860 meters per second. That's darn close. And the thrust to weight ratio is good. I think what I might just do is, because I think this will finish this off nice. Do that, and that. Maybe turn this. Oh, this is just like that. Now that is much too much fuel, so we can start taking out some of this fuel. Again, I'm budgeting 1890. That's 1978 for this stage. That should be good. Thrust to weight 2.24. Oh, landing legs. Landing legs. I think I need the bigger ones. Ooh, I should probably even slide them down a little bit. All right. I'm thinking I'm getting something that's actually going to be working for me. 1952, I bid 1890, maybe a little bit more fuel. Don't be so stingy. Nin 1934, again 18, no, a little bit. What, how am I getting these to be so different? Stop doing that. There. Let's go with that. All I need to do now is get this thing into orbit. I think we're looking at something that probably will work. This is the Munar 5. And I'm just going to show, here, let's save this. I'm going to do some testing because I want to make sure that what I'm mostly worried about is that this thing can take off cleanly without completely destroying what's below it. So I'm just checking my staging here just really quick. That all seems good. We're going to exit here. Let's leave. And we're going to use the KRASH simulator to just test that takeoff part. So I'm going to open up first though SCANsat. This is my biome map of the moon. It is almost done. There's a little sliver here still to go. I want to pick some spot in the daylight, like maybe about here, and see if that's going to work for me. And let's see. I'm looking at, honestly, the latitude. Well, let's look at this. Latitude of -10, longitude of 79. I can see that on there. So latitude of -10, longitude of 79. You'll see why I need that in just a sec. -10 and 79. So we're going to go to our KRASH simulator. We're going to go to landed, pick the moon, latitude of -10. Minus. Didn't put the minus in. Longitude is 79. I just want to have a landing spot that has a decent chance. And then this altitude is in meters. This works really nice. So I'll show you how this works. I was playing with this a little while ago. So I'll hit the simulate button. This is a great way to just, again, test if this thing is going to work. Notice, by the way, I don't get the ability to do this until I've actually been there and done this, which I really like. That's why it's only Kerbin and the moon that are there as options. So it's going to start me eventually. There we go. We're 11 meters above the surface. Oh, and I am on... Okay, that was a bad choice of location. I thought I was picking right on the edge of a crater. Doesn't that figure? Okay. Oh dear. I wanted to pick something that was fairly... Okay, let's terminate this simulator. That didn't go well. Okay, let's see if we can pick a better spot. I'll terminate that simulation. So that was money not well spent there. Let's go back to that SCANsat map. Will those engines melt? That's exactly what I'm worried about, is those engines taking off. So let's look here. It does give me slopes somewhere, does it not? Not that I see. If I go to the math type altimeter, does that give me slope? If I go to here? Not really. Okay, I thought I could see what the slopes were. Okay, let's pick something a little bit less in those craters. How about out here? Let's go with 100 on the longitude and 0 on the latitude. Let's see what that's like. Try this one more time, and if this doesn't work, I'm just going to go for it. Okay, again, simulate, landed, moon, 110 on the longitude, I think I said. No, I'm not 100% certain. And 0 on the latitude. Let's see what this looks like. Simulate. What I should do is find a really good test spot and just remember those numbers. I thought I had a slope map, and I couldn't see the slope map. Maybe I was looking at the wrong thing. Ruben says there's a slope map and the map types. Maybe. Oh, I know. I might have had to actually pick that map. Okay, here we go. This is looking much better. So, SAS on, and notice I'm falling, and notice I'm not accelerating. It's just slowly lowering me to the surface. Now as I'm touched the surface, I just don't fall over, don't fall over, don't fall over. Bad. Bad. Okay. I am picking the worst spots. Okay, somebody was saying, Ruben was saying, go to the SCANsat map, look at the slope type. Did I miss the slope type? So, SCANsat map, math type, slope. There we go. And this is now, should be longitude, latitude, but I also am getting a measure of terrain height. But yes, there's the slope. I think that angle that's there, I can't point to it with the mouse, but that angle that's there is the slope. There's a slope of only 1 degree. I doubt I can get much better than that. And it seems to be a reasonably large stretch of just 1 degree, 2 degrees. Not very steep in this zone here. So let's get to here. So this has a longitude of 75.5 degrees. Okay, this is my last, this is literally going to be the last time I'm going to try it. I want to, with these tests, I want to test the ascent part of this thing, the ascent vehicle, and whether it will melt. You know what? I don't need to do this from the moon, do I? Yes, I do, because the thrust to weight isn't enough to lift it off a Kerbin. That's why I'm doing this on the moon. Okay, landed, moon, shoot. I already forgot what my number was. Oh my God. Oh, try the zoom. That's a good idea too. Okay, zoom in there. Bring in the mini-map. Very little slopes here. Go to here. Very tiny little slopes. Longitude about 80 degrees. Okay, I'm going to remember that number now. Longitude 80 degrees. Keep saying it to myself. Longitude 80 degrees. Longitude 80 degrees. Longitude 80 degrees. All right. Simulate. Oh, shoot. Now I did it from the launch pad. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. I am wasting so much time. I'm also wasting money. Every one of these sims is costing me money. I'm starting to get dubious. Simulate. Landed. Moon. Longitude 80 degrees. Simulate. Of course, I did practice this between this stream and the last stream to make sure I knew what I was doing, and it worked on the first try. And what I should have done is just written down the numbers that I used. Okay, here we go. Oh, this looks better. This looks better. SAS on. And again, notice how I'm not accelerating. It's just gently lowering me to the surface. Saying I'm on the surface now. And, oh, thank you. Okay. So what I'm interested in, that whole purpose was, can this thing take off and not wreck the probe that's below it? So I'm going to throttle up. I've adjusted the staging, so this should decouple, and those engines, those ants should turn on. So let's do it. See? There. That's all I wanted to test, so that's going to work fine. Terminate the simulation. Oh, my dear. Okay. Wow, that was a lot of work. Okay. Let's go through my checklist and make sure... Probes. I am not... there's no contract fine print. I have control. The probe has been configured. Science is all on there. Power generation, electrical storage I thought about. Antenna strength, antenna speed I talked about. Data storage has been dealt with. Propulsion's all good. There's no RCS. There's a parachute on it. Thermal protection is there. Lights, yes. Upgrades. Do I need to worry about upgrades? This thing has 23 ignitions. The ants have a ton, so upgrades I don't have to worry about. Thrust to weight I've been looking at. That should be fine. Fairing and staging, I'm not into the booster yet. So, lights. That's all I got to think about. Let's put some lights on this. So, we have to light it up. Let's put on... Let's do 6 of these on the bottom. I want to really light this sucker up. 6 of these blinky amber lights. Blink on. Ambery color. Oh, it's more orange, but whatever. What are the textures on? Oh, I like the dark, I think. I'm gonna go dark. What's this one on the dark theme? Yeah, there we go. There we go. This is what we're doing. There. How about this one? You dark too? You can be dark too. Okay. But the decoupler, if I make it dark, does that really matter? It doesn't really matter. There we go. All right, so that is that, and that. Blinky lights, we need more lights inside. Let's light up this whole section here if I can. Not a lot of room. Is that, yeah, that's... Okay, I'm gonna light it from above. Even though bringing these lights with us back is kind of pointless, but I don't... Gotta have lights. Pitch angle, can we rotate them and rotate them inwards? Come on, 90, there we go. Light on. Yeah, so that'll just light up that section. And yeah, we'll put lights here too. Light up that bit. And more blinky lights. More blinky lights here. Okay, and again, amberish lights. Okay. So that's lights. All right, we need to get this thing into orbit. Now, what is the mass of this puppy? 5.2 tons. I have me a feeling that is the biggest thing. Yes, my biggest booster is can lift 3.5 tons. So maybe this is a good excuse for me to just make a new booster. I think it is. New booster. I've been unlocking more parts, so it's time for me to put in something new here anyway. Yeah. So we'll put on that. We need a fairing to cover this whole thing up. Still only have the 2.5 meter fairings. But I think, yeah, it'll fit. Right? You're gonna make it up there? Yeah. Okay, fairing. 6 pieces. We'll put up the force. We'll test it in just a little bit. Okay, now what I need to do... Yeah, that needs to go here. Okay. Is get some sort of booster under this. So let's get this up. What? Let's see. Fuel tanks, fuel tanks, fuel tanks. I want to start making my boost. Let's just see what we get. If I do this, let's arrange these engines by mass. This is my Terrier engine. There's the Valiant engine. Haven't made much use of this. What I'm looking for... Oops, didn't stick on. Is an upper stage booster with a thrust to weight in around 0.9 to 1 and a delta V of about 1,000. See if this does the trick. And then this will just be for the final part of the ascent. Yeah, I think this might work. Let's maybe just one of these. Oh, I gotta get me some bigger tanks. Oh my gosh. That works. I think that'll work all right. I'll worry about textures later, but I like the thrust, and this isn't a very heavy engine, so that'll make it a good one for the bottom. And now, what do I have for... I don't have the tricoupler or any of that kind of stuff. Ah, yes. I don't even have the bigger decouplers yet. I don't have... Okay, we're going to need to go... What is my biggest engine? Oh, I do have a Bobcat engine. Okay. And what I got... I know what I got. Okay. What we got are... I know a better plan then with that Bobcat. Keep that. Keep that. That. Let's go with... Just want to make so it's not getting this guy, and then I got my... Oh, I do have that big one. This is my only, really, this is my only 3.5 meter part. That is, or whatever, point, what is it? Yeah. 1.875 meter part. That's what I'm going to say. How does that work? And I'm thinking just an upper stage here. I think that's working pretty good. Man, I need to get myself some some bigger tanks. And now it's going to be a whole lot of these. And all I want to do is make use of this Bobcat engine that I have. Oh my gosh. It's gotten so many... Is this staging sensible? Yes, it is still. Okay, so that is that. I have 2008, but a lot... I think what I'm going to need to do, take this off. Make this a little smaller. This is turning into kind of an ugly thing. I hate using all these little tanks. That's better. And then, what do I got for radial decouplers? Oh my gosh, my parts stink. I need better parts. Okay, no, let's put those back. What is my biggest SRB? I do have these all, like these are way out of scale from everything else I have. Those are ridiculous. Why do I have those huge ones? I'm not unlocking unlocking things in a smart way. 3 of them maybe. Okay. This is going to be a homely booster. 2 this way. 2 this way. Let's check the staging out. So those 2 go first. Yep. Then we stage those. These go next. We stage those. These go next. And that's getting me into the 3,749 meters per second, which can comfortably get me into orbit. But it is ugly as sin. Oh my gosh. But I've kind of committed to this monstrosity, so I'm going to stick with it. Alright, and move these down a bit. Move these ones down, get them all to line up nice. We're going to have to do a little bit of strutting. Thank goodness for struts. And strut these guys up. There. Oh, it didn't. Lost my strut. See it down there? There you are. Just going to hook that right to here. And then another set of struts on the other side. There you are. Like that. Reaction wheels. I'm just thinking that. I do now have the 1.25 meter reaction wheels, and I'm thinking a good spot to stick those be right there. That will help with stability during ascent. Alright, move you out of the way. Can Delta V... Oh, wait a sec. Am I way too low on Delta... Oh, wait, this is all messed up now. These ones go first, then they decouple. Staging just got messed up. That makes no sense what I'm saying. That goes there. These go there. There, that's sensible now. Yeah, I got a good Delta V again. Ugh. I really, really don't like this. Well, we'll see. What these have different textures. I don't think I'm improving much by... Nope. We'll stick with what we got. Okay, bump, bump, bump. We need launch clamps. Yep. There we go. And they are definitely going to need that. Like that. So fire off the boosters, then the launch clamps, then that. I think I'm getting close to giving this a bit of a test ride. I can see... I think it's okay. It's okay. Now, I know that these boosters are going to want to have... They have a tendency to bang into each other, so I'm going to... I still don't have Separatrons, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some tail fins here. Oops, lost them. Where do those tail fins go? Tail fins. There we are. I'm going to put them on here, and then we're going to very slightly, if I can rotate them the right way, very slightly rotate them outwards so that what I'm hoping these will do is to pull the booster away when the time is right, when we go to detach them. Whether this will work or not, I don't know. We're going to test it in just a little bit. other way. That way. Again, here. That way. Here. That way. Now, I'm hoping that will help get these things to go away in a clean way. Okay, let's see. Do I have... oh my gosh. I don't have the thrust I need on the bottom. Shoot, so all 4 of these are going to have to go off at the same time. That gives me ample thrust on the bottom. I think I still got the delta V I need. Should be okay. Unfortunately, I don't have these on any kind of symmetry group, so I'm going to have to adjust both of these at the same time. Let's see. There, there. I'm just now looking at my thrust to weights, because the thrust to weights from these SRBs, all 4 of them going off at the same time, is monstrous. Why is this not changing? Because I'm changing the gimbal limit. Oh my gosh. Okay, I want a thrust to weight of around 0.33. Okay, let's try 67 in here. Perfect. Okay, good. That is that. Thrust to weight for this middle stage is going to be good. And thrust to weight on that top stage. I think this might work. So we'll test fairings. We'll test all this in a little bit. I think the staging is all sensible. Yeah, let's give this a go. Let's see if we can get this into orbit. And looking at the time, that's probably going to be after we do the simulation. That's probably going to be the end of it. So let's do this thing. So there. I think it all looks good. Simulate. This time we are simulating from the launch pad. Oh, I got to get some bigger tanks. I need some bigger tanks. Of course, 4 boosters all firing off at the same time at launch only increases the chance of Kerbalism coming and biting me in the back end with some sort of launch failure, but whatever. It is what it is. Okay. Throttle up and let's do this. Okay. First part so good. I still like all of these. Again, this is the KRASH simulator, and because I have the wireframes turned on, I'm getting all this stuff, but I don't know. Maybe at some point I'll get sick of it, but right now I still find it kind of... Whoa! Oh, I didn't put any kind of tail fins on this. Just realized that. It does have heavier reaction wheels, so hopefully the heavier reaction wheels will compensate for the fact that I don't have tail fins on this thing. Just try and get that right onto 90 degrees. Again, I'm not pitching over very well. Should be pitching over a little bit more quickly. But we're just in a test. Should be okay. About to lose the SRBs. We'll see how that separation goes. They separate nice and clean. Hey, that worked all right. I like it. Now we're on our new engine, the Bobcat engine. It is one dorky thing, that's for sure. But I mean, it could be worse. It actually is not wobbly and goofy. That's what I was kind of worried it would be. Okay. So I've just reduced throttle a little bit here. And I don't know if I'm going to run out on this booster before or after I have to stage the fairing. So I got to keep an eye on that. That's why it might not be a bad idea to always put the fairing on an action group rather than this, so that you're not dependent on that. I might fix that after this. But whoa, we just went into orbit mode. I have me a feeling I'm going to be firing off that, staging that fairing before we lose this booster. It's going to be close. What a thing this is. Holy cow. Oh, I'm actually the other way around, aren't I? There we go. We're on this one. Let's turn up the throttle because that's not much of a motor. And now the fairings. Oh, we got to fix that too. Okay. But it came off cleanly. And again, this is just a test. Can we get into orbit? Can we get this into orbit? The lights look like. Okay. Kind of hard to judge them by the... Oh, these aren't blinking. Blink on. There we go. Ooh. I think I need to pitch up a little bit. I'm getting too close to my apoapsis. That's what happens with this little wimpy motor here. Let's just pitch up a little bit. Looking at this timed apoapsis, I do not want that. There, and it's starting to go back up again. Start to pitch down. Wimpy motors, but not very heavy motors, which I think is a good thing. Okay, lock that back on prograde. I might need, I don't know if we're going to make it. Let's see, it's going to be close. There's only 270, less than that now, almost 200 meters per second. I don't think, we'll see. I mean, I'll be the first to admit it wasn't the best of insertions there, but alright, that is 80 on the apoapsis, but there's only 8 meters per second left in this stage. So that is not going to be a successful orbital insertion. I think I'm going to terminate this simulation. This definitely is going to need some tweaking. It says, Mike, you can adjust the... Whoops, I got to click this close. Mike, you can adjust the look of the fairing when you go to actually use the SIN? Sorry, Charlie, I'm not quite sure. I know I can adjust the look of this. Here, I'm going to put the clamshell deploy on right now. I didn't get into the aesthetics of this, but I'm going to... It's a little bit tight. I think I'm going to need to play with this booster just a little bit more. I think it's close to being a done deal. Well, I don't know. I can go a little further. Let's go a little... I think one of the issues might be... Not going to give up just yet. We'll give this one more go. Oh, shoot. Let's go back. I think these might be a little bit too much drag. Okay, turn that checker off. Go away. So I'm just going to turn them inwards just a little bit. So they're a little less drag. That should be good. I also think I can get away with... Whoops. I think I can get away with another fuel can under here. Another one of these little flat tubers. I think so. Let's do that. That should be plenty now. What about the look? Let's make this one all dark on this stage. Now I'm into aesthetics. I think it's close now. There. There. That looks better. Fairing. Dark. Ah, there we go. How about the Bobcat engine down here on the bottom? What else we got? Oh, it's just those two settings. Okay, we'll keep that, keep that, keep that, keep that. Let's save this. I think we just need to adjust the thrust to weight again on these two, or these four. Let's try 65 on both of them. Oh no, they needed to go up. Try 69 on both of them. That's too much. 67 on both of them, or 68? 68.5. All right, that's good. And the one light here didn't blink. That's important. Blink on. All right, we're going to try this one last time. One last time. I want to have this thing all working so that next stream, we're going to hit the ground running and launch this thing and send it off towards the moon. But I want to be convinced that this will get into orbit the way it is. So we're going to do one more of these simulations. All right, SAS on, throttle up, contracts go away. Put this on here. Boom, go. And I'm going to knock it over a little bit better this time. So let's see, 50, knock it over a little harder. Lock that on prograde. Definitely went up a little too steeply last time. Again, just playing around just a little bit, tilting north and south just to get that heading right on 90. That's pretty good. All right. And about to lose those SRBs. We'll see if they still detach pretty good. I should have been using these little fins for quite some time here. There we go. And if anything, I'm actually coming over a little bit too steeply. So I'm just going to take it off of lock to prograde there just for a little bit. Lock it on its current orientation. Do that again one more time. All right, lock that on prograde. Okay, let's see here. Hopefully this will be a little better. So I got a little bit more fuel. Oh, I can tell. Well, oh no, still. That's okay. Getting a little bit of flamey effects here, but still, Apple Apps is about 50 seconds away. So I'm not too concerned about that. Let's start reducing throttle. Keep that Apple Apps is close by. A little more. About to lose this stage and go on to the upper stage. The upper stage is a little wimpy. I will admit that. That's probably part of the issue. Oh, I ran out of fuel. That Bobcat's so quiet. Okay, now it's just on that upper stage and... Oh, let's pitch up a little bit. The upper stage is a little wimpy. Just watching my time. Oh, my time to Apple Apps is growing again. That's good. That's good, that's good. Pitch down a little bit. Thing's a little bit more of a beast. Lock that back onto prograde. And I can actually reduce throttle. Okay, that's comfortable. That's good. That's good, because my time to Apple Apps has started to climb there, so that's good. All right. Hopefully we can run on this little booster for a while now. I do like the wireframes. Looks good. Don't think I'll keep it that way all the time, though. A little less still on the throttle. Keeping that Apple Apps is close by. It is one big ginormous fairing, that's for sure. Okay, about to do fairing separation. We'll see how that goes. We'll do that at 50 kilometers. And oh, nice. And then just let this go. Not going to adjust the throttle anymore. We'll let just the Apple Apps climb. Lights on. Very quiet. This is a very Kerbal rocket. Like, it's got all kinds of wacky shapes going on, that's for sure. Very Kerbal. Yeah, I think the next thing I am going to unlock is just bigger tanks. So I can build myself... Whoa, whoa, we already are... Okay, okay. That was interesting. Already got that. Periapsis is up very high. Okay, there we go. We're going to cut throttle. Not as high as I would like to be in the atmosphere. We came up pretty shallow. First time I was a little too steep. This time I think I was a little bit too shallow. We're a long way from being out of the atmosphere. Need to give it a little bit of thrust just to keep the apoapsis from... Oh, this time warping is going to be... But we are almost in a circular orbit, and there's still 170 meters per second, so I think this is going to be okay. I mean, look at our velocity, 2.3 kilometers per second. We're pretty close to orbital velocities. This time we just came up a little bit too shallow. I'm thinking this is going to work once I get myself out of the frickin' atmosphere so I can time warp quicker. $68 kilometers, 69 kilometers. Okay, 70 kilometers. Okay, time warp to apoapsis. Come on. There we go. All right, so let's see. Yeah, our velocity is about 250 meters per second. Still got 170 meters per second left. I can easily circularize. This is a done deal. This thing is going to work. I think this is going to be a working rocket for me, but unfortunately, taking a look at the time, I'm thinking this is going to have to be the end of the stream. Beginning of next stream, we're going to launch this thing, send it off to the moon, see if it can get there, land on the surface, pick up what it needs, and then get itself back. But until then, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you in the chat. Thank you for people that are showing up a little bit later to watch this, and have yourselves a great weekend. See y'all.